In this lab, what we're going to do is we're going to add another virtual hard disk to the virtual machine. But before we do that, we're going to open up the terminal and we're going to identify basically what hard drives are actually in the system. And there's going to be a handful of commands that we could use. First one I want to show you is the first command is going to be the df command. And it's going to basically show us what file systems are available. I also want to add a switch to this and utilize df/h so it's more in human readable format. So we're able to see that the sizes now are in terms of the appropriate unit of measures. So here we have once again the dev/sda, and here is our utilization. So let me clear this and let's utilize another utility, and this one will be the fdisk utility. Fdisk, I'll utilize the switch L for this one. And you notice that we cannot utilize this utility because it can't open the file, it can't read the information because permissions are denied. But irregardless, what we could still see is basically we still have only one hard drive here. Now if I want to actually see all the details, I would prefix this with sudo, and that gives me elevated permissions, and we'll do fdisk -L, put in my password, and then you notice I have a lot more information coming out, and here the bottom part is identifying the information pertaining the actual drives that we have. Now one thing I want to point out is the amount of sectors that we have. We typed in those numbers 209711520, and we know that each sector is 512 bytes big, so multiply that by 512, and we see that we have a total size of, right, that's our total size in terms of equating to about 10 gigs of disk space, which correlates to how big the initial disk was when we first set up the environment. So if we actually come up to the VirtualBox and we take a look at the settings in VirtualBox under storage, here is our hard drive, and we did save it or create one at 10 gigs in size. Our next utility I want to show you is basically the ls block, so lsblk, and you notice that it also shows that we have the hard drive there, and it's also identifying how many partitions the system has. Now I could also utilize it with a switch with the -L, and again it just shows it in a different form factor. And once again, if I end up doing this with the --help, we're able to see the additional parameters that we're able to utilize. Or if we have a long help, we could pipe it through less, and we're able to see the outputs, hit the space bar to continue, and then here we have to hit the letter Q to quit out to get us back to the command prompt. Let me clear the screen. Alright, another one that I want to show you is the CF disk utility, and same thing, we don't have permissions with this one, so we have to elevate the permissions, and again we're going to use sudo. Now I'll type in cf disk. Right, same kind of information, but again in a different format with this utility. Again, it's just identifying that we have one hard drive with multiple partitions in there. So the up arrows navigate the partitions up, the left-right arrows navigate the information at the bottom, and we're just going to simply quit out of this particular utility. All right, let me clear the screen again. And then our last utility I want to show you is the parted-l. Now you notice that nothing came out because again we need elevated permissions, so we'll do sudo parted-l, and once again we have our drive information from this one utility.